All right, everybody. So you're listening to the Main Event interview show here on MSP Waves Radio. My name is Main Event. I'm here with Poetic Snake. And every week we interview different members of the Steemit community. It's wonderful to have you here with us tonight. Again, MSP Waves Radio and its owners take no responsibility for the opinions or statements made by this show, the host, me, or by the guests. Statements and show topics are not necessarily the beliefs of the radio station, and the material on this show is provided for educational and informational purposes only. I will add for entertainment purposes only as well. We are not financial experts. We encourage you to always do your own research and take your own risks as you feel is appropriate. And, you're on your own out there, but we certainly are giving just our opinions of our experience with Steemit. And it's certainly been a blast to be using this platform, and we're certainly grateful to be here. Big shout out to everybody out in the audience who is listening tonight. It's a big show for us tonight. We've got another guest who's actually going to be doing a recorded interview next. So unfortunately, this next guest wasn't able to be here live with us, but we did a recorded interview with them. My next guest is going to be Jerry Banfield. And we chatted with Jerry a couple of days ago, and I think it was a really good conversation. We talk about Steemit a lot in this conversation and the Minnow Support Project, because Jerry does have a large number of followers on YouTube and Steemit. And, I thought it would be a good opportunity to try to get more people to find out about the Minnow Support Project. And Jerry was interested in talking about Steemit more as well with a different audience. So we're going to chat with Jerry Banfield next here on the show. Again, my name is Main Event. This is the MSP Waves interview show that I call Main Event Interviews. And it's wonderful to have you all here with us tonight. Poetic Snake, do you want to give a few more shout-outs to people in the audience while I get this loaded up here?
Absolutely. I'm seeing a lot of people here. I'm seeing Furious and Hey It's Yo. HZ432 Creations, Jack Johannes Hamp is still with us. And people, come on, throw your hands up in the air. Give us a wave in the MSP Waves audience
Absolutely.
chat room.
And again, so the way we did this recording with Jerry is so that he could also, air this on his YouTube channel in that format. So he starts off the interview. So it was basically, he was kind of interviewing us. And it was kind of a back and forth interview, and we just more or less talk about Steemit as a whole and what we think about the different communities out there and things like that. So again, this is our chat with Jerry Banfield.
What is the Minnow Support Project on Steam? How does the Minnow Support Project help new users learn to get connected and be successful on Steam? And what am I doing in relation to my service on Steam? Would you watch this video, please, if you'd like to learn more about Steam and the Minnow Support Project and about my role on Steam, because that's exactly what we will talk about here. This is being recorded also for the MSP Waves radio show with Main Event as one of the hosts and then Poetic Snake as the other host. I'm very grateful to be here to do this today. And Main Event, would you like to get us started?
Absolutely, and welcome, Jerry. This is the MSP Waves show, the Main Event interview show. It airs every Wednesday night from 10 to midnight UTC time, which is 5 to 7 Eastern time. Again, that's on MSP Waves, which is the radio station that was created as part of the Minnow Support Project. You can find out more about that at mspwaves.com.
Well, thank you for having us today. So, and Poetic Snake, would you like to introduce yourself with us here too?
Of course, it's a wonderful pleasure to meet you, Jerry. My name is Poetic Snake on Steemit, and I'm the co-host of the Main Event radio show.
Well, it's a pleasure to be here with you guys. And Jake, Main Event is Jake. I do easier with real names, so I'll do Jake, and then what Poetic Snake, do you want to do that or something else?
Well, my real name is Bianca.
Bianca. Oh, I like that. All right. Bianca
Thank
and
you.
Jake.
And Jerry, this show, what we do is we like to bring people on the show to kind of talk about their Steemit story. You know, what brought them to the platform, what they're using it for, what they think of it, and just kind of learn more about the members of the Steemit community and to put a voice to the profile so we can kind of get to know them better.
I'm excited to get started.
Now, Jerry, how long have you been on Steemit and what brought you here? Do you remember how you found out about Steemit and what brought you to the platform?
Yes, the very first experience I had with Steem was a little over a year ago. I was just trading on Poloniex. I saw Steem had went up, bought some Steem, and then next time I checked it, it went down 90%. I'm like, oh, this is stupid. I sold it. And actually, I bought some more first after it lost most of its value. And then it went down almost the same amount again. I sold it and I said, this is dumb. And then I didn't think about it again for a few months. I never even went to steemit.com. My friend Robert Janito, he sent me a text message. He's the one who got me into Bitcoin and got me into Dash. He sent me a text message in April 2017 saying, join Steem, you'll thank me later. I went to his profile and he was making $2 or $3 a post. And again, first reaction was, well, that's stupid. And why do we need one more blogging platform? Who cares? It's on a cryptocurrency. So I sold my Dash Master node the next month for $87,000. It'd be worth $900,000 today. And I was looking for somewhere to put the Bitcoin I had. And I remembered Robert's text message. I said, okay, let me take a look at Steem. And then I went back and actually browsed Steem on the computer instead of just using my mobile device. And then I saw the trending page and I said, wow, people are making hundreds of dollars to make a blog post. If other people can make hundreds of dollars to make a blog post, I definitely can do that too. And that's what got me really excited, is that it's a blogging and a cryptocurrency all matched into one. And the more I researched about it before I bought in, the more I looked everything up, the more I just got really excited. And I'm still pretty excited 7 months later.
And so you had been a blogger before Steemit. How long have you been blogging?
The first thing I did, I made YouTube videos almost 7 years ago now. The videos were just trashy and terrible, and I kept making better and better videos. Some would argue better and better, others might not. And I started blogging a little while after that, in October or so 2011, when I started my business. It's been really frustrating journey as a blogger up until I found Steem, because most recently I have over 500 blog posts on jerrybanfield.com, and these blog posts bring in tens of thousands of readers from Google search every single month, and social media sharing. And I'm lucky to get 20 or 30, maybe $50 a month on Google AdSense in revenue. It's really hard to monetize a blog right now, even if we've got a lot of readers, unless we post on Steem. And that's why I got excited, because Steem is the easiest way I know of to monetize a blog. You're doing great. I'm looking through your posts here. You're getting $6 on this one, 36 on this one, 20. And I mean, that's more than I got on any blog post I made for 5 years online.
Yeah, I mean, I've tried to be very outgoing in the community. The Minnow Support Project was a great thing for me to find early on in my Steemit career. So I've tried to be very active in the chat networks. I mean, Discord, a lot of people have communities on Discord now for Steemit, and so I've tried to join those and chat and network with different people, and I think that's a great thing for newer users to do when they join Steemit, is to try to be out in the community and, networking with people outside of just the comments and things like that on the platform.
And we are actually having this call on Discord now, and if you want to get to the Minnow Support Project, it's minnowsupportproject.org/Discord. And I agree, the Discord channels are great on Steem, because while our blogs on Steam have these awesome comment features, it's pretty depressing if you don't have any followers and you make a post and not one person comments, which now I haven't had that experience, but that's the average experience on Steam. And then the Discord servers provide an instant way to interact and get answers to questions after we've made those first posts. So I'm very grateful. The Minnow Support Project is one of the leaders in helping new users actually get connected in the community.
Yeah, absolutely. I know when I first joined, I didn't know anything about, either Steemit.chat or Discord or any of these other outside chat platforms. And, it took me a couple of months really to get going and to have people finally start, following my page and things like that. But then once I found the Discord servers, that's when it all changed. And it seemed like a lot more doors opened up for me because I actually was talking to more people. I started doing this radio show and things like that, and trying to do what I can to not only, promote my blog, but to help other people in the community as well. And that's one of the great things about Steam and Steemit is it's very community oriented, it seems like, or at least that's my opinion on it.
Yeah, the same was for me as well when I joined 19 months ago. The first year I didn't connect outside the Steemit channel. And the moment I started to join Discord and Minnow Support is when everything changed and took a trip for the better.
Now, Jerry, so outside of your blogging now on Steemit, I know you've become, very active on Steemit as far as, promoting the platform and other projects like that. Do you want to talk about some of the different projects that you've worked on or are working on?
Yes, that's my favorite subject, it's me. So I'd love to talk more about that.
Go right ahead.
The most recent project I'm excited about because it has the opportunity to add massive value to existing projects in terms of funding and in terms of just knowing there is a funding mechanism, and in terms of giving investors a consistent return back, and in terms of getting posts promoted. What I'm really excited about is the Steam budget proposal system that we've just launched within the last 3 days. And I say we because while I've posted it and thought about it and kind of taken the lead on it, this is a collaborative effort that requires all of us to participate in. Steam budget proposals, if we've heard of the Dash as a cryptocurrency, Dash has a decentralized budget proposal system. That's what got me to invest in it. And it essentially funds projects that add value to Dash. Now, it has a beautiful built-in decentralized system where anyone can submit a proposal, and the blockchain itself, based on the votes, decides what gets funded. I suggested building the same thing on Steam, and while there's huge popular support, the people who could actually implement it said it's not the right implementation, which I've come to agree with because we now have an implementation where anyone can essentially, I have a voting bot now on my account. So this is a several part system. I'll explain all of it so it makes sense as quick as possible. So I've got a voting bot on my account now. My account only votes when receiving Steam dollar transfers to my wallet with a URL for a post to promote. That currently is about $2,000 US dollars equivalent a day in voting power. In other words, that's the amount of US dollars worth of bids that can be accepted a day, and that's what would be paid back out in votes. So realistically, users wouldn't want to send more than 1,000 or so to get a good return on the investment. So there's a bunch of voting bots on Steam. The Jerry Banfield one pays those delegating to it 50% back because that's how the vote, that's how this number over here, $222, that's from the amount of Steam that's powered up and delegated. That's where that comes from. And that enables us to get more funding. So the more investors we have who delegate Steam power, the more total funding and voting power there is, which that's better for those voting. Then that's half of the rewards that go back to delegators. The other half of all the bids received for the voting bot then go to fund projects on Steam. Now, this is really cool because Right now, it's very difficult to get funding above just making a post and getting upvotes. It's very difficult to get funding to do projects that promote the growth of Steam. For example, yesterday, we just sent 366 Steam, which is about $700, to steampunk.net. It's the first massively multiplayer online role-playing game on the Steam blockchain. This is an app that has been in development for months, that is active in beta right now, that people are using and enjoying. And up until now, it's been difficult to get funding for something like this without going through a rigorous process to try and ask Steam Inc. for funding, or without trying to just beg for upvotes essentially over and over again. So within just 36 hours of starting this project, we've already sent $700 out worth of funding to fund the first project. And I'm planning, the main thing I've done on Steam in terms of promoting Steam, I've made a lot of videos about Steam, which including this will go out as a video about Steam. I made tons of posts, and I've done a lot of ads for Steam as well. About 20 million people or so around the world have seen ads on Facebook, Google, through the Display Network, and YouTube for Steam. And I've went through every single funding mechanism that is available for this. Anything from witness rewards to going through the Steam Inc.'s budget, or whatever they call that, the crowdfunded marketing protocol. I went through that. And I've just done a bunch of begging for upvotes to fund what is an incredibly valuable activity for us in showing ads to promote Steam. And that's what I'm planning to do then, is submit my own budget proposals. And part of the funding through the budgets will go to fund advertising payments to Google and Facebook to advertise Steam. Basically, the more people we have on Steam, the more value we have as a platform. To me, the cryptocurrency that's number one is the one that has the most wallets. Bringing more people to Steam equals more wallets, equals more users, equals bigger community, equals more interest and excitement, more investments, and I believe someday the number one cryptocurrency will be Steam. So those are two of the projects I'm most excited about, just advertising Steam and funding ads for Steam, as well as hopefully over time thousands of other projects designed to grow the value of the Steam blockchain through this new Steam budget proposals system.
Yeah, and I find that really, interesting that you're doing all of those things, and it's really amazing actually. So what if you're going to promote Steam out there like that, what is the thing you would tell someone on the street as to, why they should join Steemit? What would you say to them if somebody came up to you and you had a Steemit t-shirt on or something and they said, well, what is that? How would you get those people to be interested in Steemit?
Jake, that's an outstanding question, because the answer is relevant to what each of us specifically wants to both contribute and is looking to get out of it in return. To someone, therefore, we really need to get to know each other before we can provide the best answer. For someone who, say, is active on Facebook, making posts every day, having great conversations on Facebook and groups, for that person, I say that Steam is 10 times better than Facebook, because all that time and energy we spend pouring our hearts out into Facebook posts, making pictures of our lives on Facebook, Instagram, we don't get any return out of that, not in terms of money. But we are helping someone else make money. All of our time on Facebook that we're making these posts, we're helping Facebook to grow its net worth as a company. Some people say, well, social media shouldn't be about money. Social media is all about money. It's just all about money for the company hosting it. It's all about money for Facebook. And Steam gives each of us the chance to earn at least in some ratio of what we contribute. Now, you could argue whether should certain people get certain amounts on each post. The fact is, the biggest difference is 0 to 1. You get nothing on Facebook for posting unless you often work out awkward arrangements. It's possible, but Facebook itself gives nothing. The Steem blockchain consistently rewards authors making a valuable contribution with at least something, even if it's just 1 cent. Mentally, that's a huge difference between zero. And for me, I've gotten incredibly generous rewards. The rewards I've got on Steem in 7 months of posting and doing just hours and hours of Steem are probably worth $100,000 today. And to make that much money on Facebook or any other method of blogging would have required essentially a lot of compromising, promoting a bunch of other brands that I may or may not have cared about. Steem allows us to connect more honestly without having to then spend the rest of our energy trying to make money. We can just make a little bit for our contribution, and that's really good for the entire world. That's what I love about Steem, is that we have the chance to just join and help each other earn a little bit of money for sharing. And that's way better than what's going on the other social media networks. Now, then there's more specific things. For example, for an investor, I'd say Steem's the one cryptocurrency that has in everything in the seeds, the foundation that has the opportunity to grow into one that's bigger than Bitcoin. I don't see, and maybe it's from ignorance, I don't see that these other currencies have a chance for mass adoption. Steem does, because of what we've just talked about. Anyone, whether we're in New York, Nigeria, or India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Australia, Japan, Korea, wherever we're at, we can join in on Steem and have a chance to earn rewards immediately with no investment needed. Meanwhile, 99% of the other cryptocurrencies, it's fairly pointless to do anything without having money. And that excludes 99% of the world from being able to participate. So for an investor, I think Steem, especially, I've set this budget proposal system up to be one of the best deals for an investor. You say you want to put in $100,000 to Steem and just have it be totally passive income. Buy the Steem, delegate it to the budget proposals, know you're funding growth projects, get your consistent return every day. Very simple system there. And then finally, for those of us that are interested in developing apps and innovating, blogging, YouTubing, etc., Steem provides an outstanding place for a community to be centered. And that's what I've found on Steem. I'm grateful, amazed to 18,000 followers on Steem. I'm honored that this is a place where I can finally just keep contributing and directly get something for it without allowing advertisers to put ads on my videos that then disturb my audience right when they're about to watch my videos, without having to compromise my integrity, so to speak, and say, if I'm on my own blogging website, then take offers from, say, ICOs to promote things. On Steem, I can just do whatever will be most helpful each day and build a community here. I think Steem is the ideal place for those of us that already have a community to center our community in Steem, and then to have other things like YouTube or Facebook pages or whatever. But Steem is the foundation of my community online now. And it's been very frustrating in years of working full-time online to find a center for my community, because every other center we face the centralized regulation. On Facebook, I can get my page taken down arbitrarily for no reason. On YouTube, my channel can be demonetized arbitrarily for no reason. Videos can be taken down for no reasons. On Udemy, I had hundreds of thousands of students. They banned me for a reason that, according to their own terms and conditions, was incorrect. And I keep having these centers of my community that then run into centralized regulation, either directly like a Udemy ban or indirectly with YouTube demonetizing videos or just bothering my audience with ads. And Facebook then is full of distractions. It's full of ads. Steem is one place I can say, look, follow me on Steem and we can have a pure interaction on Steem. And you might even profit from being in on Steem. Whereas following me on YouTube or Facebook or Udemy, you had to pay to get in. But on Steem, it's way better than anything else I've seen.
I must agree. And I mean, of course, this is all just our opinion, always do your own research, that sort of thing. But, we both have had positive experiences with using Steam and Steemit. And I know my co host, Poetic Snake, would agree also. She's had a positive experience with it. And it's just different than the other social medias. The way I say it to people, it's just different. It's not the same. It's a different culture on there. It's more, like I said, community based. It seems like people are more open to helping each other on there, that sort of thing. At least from my experience and in my opinion. So yeah, it's great to see people going out there and trying to show this to people out into the real world, through the things you're doing, like the advertising. And then I've seen other people on Steemit who are actually going out and holding events, promotional events in public and at universities and places like that. So that's really cool to see people doing that. And yeah, it would be great to see, more people experiencing this, because we're all really enjoying it. We were going to ask you a few more questions here, Jerry. What are some things you kind of have planned for the future coming up here? Other projects you're working on or that you have in mind, maybe?
Really, user US dollar or other fiat currency, euros, pounds, etc. Direct user-to-user exchange systems set up on Steam. Because when I've been mentioning to investors, to say, hey, look, Steam's really good, it's awesome. I had a guy, we did a local meetup the other day, which you just mentioned. A local meetup, so helpful. He said, okay, Jerry, I've been following you online. I really want to buy into Steam. I got $75,000. I'm ready to buy in. How do I do that? And I'm sitting there like, well, okay, so you need to sign up for a Coinbase account and connect your bank account. And then you need to buy Bitcoin, Litecoin, or Ethereum. And then you need to exchange it through something like Bittrex or Changelly or Block Trades. And you need to sign up for your Steam account. You got to exchange the Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum for Steam. And then you need to get the Steam over there into your account and then power it up. Like, why can't he just take his $75,000 and go to one place and change that straight for Steam? That's what we really need. And now Steam will have this built in by some of the larger exchanges going forward. Most, like, for example, Coinbase will certainly add Steam in the future, and Coinbase and or Bitstamp.net and or some of these other websites, I don't know which in particular, but one will certainly add that US dollars to Steam Direct. But for now, I think it'd be relatively easy to build a US dollar Steam exchange that's directly between users, because on Steam we've got higher trust profiles. Meaning if you got one Bitcoin wallet and you have a user with another Bitcoin wallet, it's not very easy to differentiate who's trustworthy versus who's not. How do you know if you send, for example, I've recently sold thousands of dollars to one of my partners in my partner's Discord chat, Steam. He sends me the money on PayPal. I send him the Steam. And that's really easy. It's great because I've got some I want to sell. He wants to buy some. A really easy system. What I'd really like to see is that essentially made available for everyone. Now, of course, we can just do that with our existing community. I can reach out, I can make a post and say, hey, I got $500 of Steam to sell every day. Here's how to send it to me on PayPal. But what about someone just joining that's new, who found it on Google search that wants to buy in? What I'd like to see is it will look like an exchange, but the functionality would be more like a messaging service. So we could build something. We don't need any licenses or regulations because that'd be up to individual users to deal with. And then we could have a place where someone says, okay, I got 75,000 in US dollars. I want to turn that in Steam. We could say, good, just go to like steamj.com, for example. It's not up yet, but that's the idea. Build something where you just send go here, and then make some smaller transactions, and then just consistently buy in more and more. Use one place to just change US dollars directly to Steam without having to sign up for a Coinbase account and then use another exchange to make it. And that was one of the things that motivated me to do my budget proposal system, is that we need a decentralized method of funding where we can just make proposals and build things without having to get approval from existing investors or from Steam Inc. We need a system where we can just work together and fund projects like this. Because some of these projects, like to build a decentralized exchange, might only cost $10,000. And yet it might add massive value to the Steam blockchain. Well, right now, there's no easy way up until this budget proposal system. There's no easy way to get that $10,000. But with this budget proposal system, now we can fund any kind of project like that. So that's all of my projects right there. The budget proposals, the ads, and then as the budget proposal system develops, working on building that decentralized exchange.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, Nat, go right ahead and ask your questions.
Yes.
I was wondering, the budget proposal, would that be interesting for the little investors as well, like the new members here, if they don't have a lot of Steam power to delegate? Would it still be interesting for them to get involved?
Absolutely. Now, assuming you've got at least 500 Steam power, which is about $1,000 worth today. I sent yesterday, for example, D Henne. He's delegated 600 Steam power, and in the first 36 hours, he got a payout of 1.54 Steam, which is equivalent to about $3.21 in 36 hours, so about $2 in a day. So I think that's pretty sweet payout. Essentially, you've got $1,000 worth of Steam to get pretty much $2 a day passive income by delegating it. I've limited it to 500 Steam a day or minimum because all these transactions for now have to be sent manually. So if I accept 10,000 delegations of 10 Steam power, that'd take a long time to send those out. So yes, this is optimized for both small and larger investments.
All right, that's awesome. And again, everybody, we're of course visiting with Jerry Banfield here on the Main Event Interview Show, and also this is airing on Jerry's channel as well. And Jerry, what other things would you like to see Steemit, the website, do? Because I know I personally have enjoyed seeing it change throughout the year. It's gone through quite a bit of changes throughout the year. So I'm curious, as somebody like you who's promoting the platform and things like that, what other features or things like that would you like to see the Steemit blogging platform add as we go forward?
Outstanding question, Jake. Better analytics is what I'm hearing from other bloggers. Right now, if I go on a post, better analytics in terms of who's reading my post, how many people have read it. I can see it says 379 with this little I token on here. But what does that mean? Does that mean someone loaded the page 379 times? I'd like it if Steemit would set up a system where we could put in Google Analytics, because Google Analytics opens up the rest of the world in terms of seeing who's reading our blog, how long are people staying on certain posts. Right now, I've got over 100 posts on Steam, and it's very challenging for me to say which one of these are people reading. I had a post that got 35,000 views in the first couple of months, almost all from free traffic sources like Google Organic Search, social media sharing, etc. I didn't even know that. If someone had not went through and actually pulled the post views on every single one of my posts and did a huge infographic on it, I would have had no idea. And I bet 99% of the authors on Steam have no idea which post of theirs got the most views, especially like Bianca's been on Steam for a year and a half now, since the very beginning. You may have had a post, Bianca, that went viral that did really well, and if people aren't commenting on it, you'd have no way to know that because the upvotes are done. I'd really like to see a Google Analytics integration, because Steemit Inc.'s already using Google Analytics on Steam, and on udemy.com for teaching courses. That's one of the best things Udemy gave us as instructors, was a Google Analytics integration. If I had Google Analytics integration, I could also run remarketing ads for everyone who's read my blog on Steam. I could essentially run ads to help people come back specifically to my blog. And I could easily see which of my posts were getting viewed the most, which would help me know exactly which type of posts I might want to make more of. If we make a post that goes viral and we have no idea about it, then how do we know to do that again?
Yeah, I agree. More analytics, like you're saying, it would be very interesting, and it would be cool to see, where people are viewing it from in the world, maybe, or what time of day. Those types of statistics would be nice to see. Yeah, any of that type of information would certainly be useful, I would think. I'm also curious, Jerry. So you've started a Discord server, I saw. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, sure. I have my own Discord server now, and it's on the jerrybanfield.com/contact page is where any of us can get an invitation to it. And what's really nice, my Discord server helps me prioritize my communication. So I've got it set up where when on my Discord server, I've got 3 different channels, and I think I can just bring that over and show it here. I've got 3 different channels on my Discord server, which helps me then to prioritize. Right now, one of the biggest challenges I've had online with a lot of followers is how do I make sure I respond to the followers who are most interested in having a relationship with me? And then how do I essentially also not take the time to respond to those that are just that don't care very much, that are just want to post to talk to other people who just want to comment and share an opinion. I don't need to interact with everyone that makes a comment. So what I've got, this new Discord system has 3 different levels. It's got a partners, a members, and a friends channel. A friends, anyone can join that for free and chat. And with the server just launching, I've been able to respond and read almost every message in the friends channel. And everything I set up tends to, the more people get into it, it kind of ruins it. So the Discord channel is set up to have lots of people join. And then what I do is I check the channels in order of level. So the members channel is reserved for people contributing $10 or more on Patreon. And we'll probably open that up to $10 or more in upvotes on Steam as well. And then the partners channel is for $50 or more a month in upvotes on Steam, as well as people on Patreon or who've bought through my website. Therefore, the partners channel, I also have a voice call with partners every week. The partners channel allows me to be accountable and available to those who are supporting me the most, which is surprisingly difficult to, even having lots of money come in, they're like, all right, how do I pay attention to one person who's bought this course? So the partners, I think this is a nice level to help a community. And then anyone who just wants to chat with me can come in. And right now, I've been responding to most everything on the Friends channel. So this is scalable over time, which is exciting. And it's a more simple system. Like if we go into some of the Minnow support, the Peace, Abundance, and Liberty, there's just tons of channels on here. There's thousands of people in the Discord. So Discord's got built-in scalability, which is really nice. So I hope my Jerry Banfield and Friends Discord server makes it easier. That's how you connected with me. That's how we were able to do this, because Jake, you jumped into my Jerry Banfield and Friends channel and started chatting with me there, and that's how we've set this up. So I'm grateful to, after struggling for years, I don't do email, and I don't do phone calls unless they're paid. I mean, it's anyone who, a lot of the people we're following and want to get a hold of are often difficult to get a hold of. So I'm grateful now I have a very transparent system. If you want to talk to me and chat with me, this is exactly how you do it. You get on my Discord channel. And any other method's not likely to work.
Yeah, like you mentioned, communities like the Minnow Support Project on Discord and many others. I mean, there's dozens now of communities that have grown and sprung up on Discord. And, even Steemit.chat too. Some people are using that to chat with other members as well. But Discord specifically has, all these communities that are being created, and it just adds that extra layer to your Steemit experience, I feel like. Of course, you'll have your blog and the comments and your followers on your blog, blog, but then you can transition that to a community on Discord, like the Minnow Support Project, and begin that process of talking to and networking with other members of the community, which of course can lead to opportunities of projects or just more viewers to your blog and things like that. And so, I would say if any members of the Steemit community are out there and you haven't found your way to a Discord community, you should probably take a look at that, because there's a lot of opportunities there for you to, find other members who are maybe like-minded, who like similar content that you're creating, and you may even make some new friends as well. I mean, like you said, without Discord, you and I probably wouldn't have had a chance to talk possibly. I met Poetic Snake, I believe, through the Minnow Support Project. So, I'm making friends now with people all over the world who I never would have met, without Steemit and, these Discord communities. So yeah, I'm definitely grateful for them, and it's great to see that you've made one now for the people who follow your blog. Well, Jerry, are there any other things you want to mention on the show, or any parting words for any members who may be listening to this? Because again, this show, of course, airs on MSP Waves Radio, which is part of the Minnow Support Project. Again, this show airs every Wednesday night, 10 to midnight UTC time, which is 5 to 7 Eastern time, on mspwaves.com. And are there any other things you maybe want to mention to some newer users? Because a lot of the people who may listen to this show might be the quote-unquote minnows, as we call them. Any just words for them out there?
Yes, would you please tell us some more about that? Because I actually have had a strange experience on Steam compared to the average user, and I'd like to hear more about how you got started on Steam and how you now are getting consistent earnings on your posts, especially when you consider the Steam dollars. You're getting like $50 a post yourself, and you're invested in the community. Would you share some more of your experience? Because I think what you've got to say might be more helpful than me on that subject.
Well, I mean, how I got started was just finding out about it through people on YouTube talking about it. So I found my way over here and, basically just started blogging about things I was interested in, my photography and things like that. And then when I discovered this MSP Waves radio station that had been created, I started doing this show every week. And what I wanted to do was to bring people onto the platform or onto the show to talk about what they're doing with Steemit. And again, the idea behind that is to put a voice to the profile. It's one thing to read people's words all the time and their comments and their posts, but it's another thing to hear their voice and kind of get to know their personality a little bit more. So that was the goal of this show, and it seems to have been interesting for people. They're enjoying it. We're getting more guests on every week, and so now we have you on the show this week. So hopefully that will help get the show out there to more people, and that's basically what I've been doing, is trying to network. You can always write a blog and hope that you'll get followers and things like that, but you really almost kind of need to take the next step and to get out into these different communities like the Minnow Support Project. And, Steemit seems to have a community aspect of it where it's kind of like, what can you do to help others also, not just help yourself? So I've tried to, feature people on this show. I do a lot of curating. I'm a curator for multiple different curator groups, including, the OCD group, MuxieBot, and I do also curate for Minnow Support Project. So that's another thing people can do out there besides just posting content, is you can become a curator. And that's what I did. And so I'm out into the community every day looking for posts to share with the other curators. And so through that process, I've gained more just visibility and things like that. So I think that, of course, has trickled down and helped my blogs, because now people are following me. I've went over a little over 1,000 followers, which is great for me. That's more than I would have on any other social media. So it's great. I'm grateful that, that many people are interested in what I'm doing on the platform. And of course, everyone's experience is going to be different on Steemit. I can't give you any, specific thing to do to be successful on Steemit. These are, of course, just my opinions and my experience, but getting out into the community, curating, commenting, joining Discord channels, chatting on steemit.chat, these types of things go a long way to getting you noticed on the platform. It's no different really than any other social media. You got to be out there active if you want to be seen. But Steemit certainly has a different feel to it for me. I've enjoyed my time here, and I'm hoping more people will join the platform and join us with that.
Jake, I appreciate you sharing your experience here. That's what I love about Steem too. It's the community, is to really get in and be known and participate in just being a human being on Steem instead of it being all these pretentious things. And what I like seeing on your profile, I had a strange experience on Steem starting off making hundreds of dollars on the first posts and all that. Now I mean, I feel like anyone can just sign up and get rewarded good and keep posting and being excited about it. But that's not the normal experience. I feel like what you've went through is very challenging if you see other people making a bunch of money on posts, and then you make your own post and you just get a few cents. A lot of people have quit on Steem after Steem really stinks for that comparison being the thief of happiness. You see somebody like me, I got like 400 on my intro post, and then most of us, we go make our intro posts and it's like, 10 cents or something. Like, well, this just sucks. That's nice other people can get good money for this, but it doesn't work for me. I think it promotes a lot of great expectations that aren't in line with, like what you said. I make way more than I would blogging somewhere else. And from the very beginning, you've made a lot more than you would have blogging somewhere else, just because most other places you would have got nothing. And you got at least a few cents right away when you started, even on your very first post. And you took about a month or so to get at least $10 on one post, even though you made posts almost every single day, even though you were in the community talking with people, sharing. And that to me is a key thing. If you want to be successful on Steem, it is to stick with it when it's hard, or stick with it when it's disappointing. Some of my posts, I'm really excited about them, and I get like a $70 downvote for no reason. That there's just someone doesn't like me, I guess, or someone's having a bad day and wants me to pray for them or whatever. Like, it's the key is to stick with it when it's not profitable, when you get 3 cents on a post, or stick with it when you got a lot of money on the last post and then your next post comes back down to earth and you get a few cents or a few dollars, and to just keep with it. Because especially with the value of the Steem going up and all that, I mean, getting $20 in rewards today could be $200 or $2,000 in a few months or a year or two if we reinvest that. So I applaud you for sticking with it. Steem has a brutal dip on it. I like Seth Godin has a book called The Dip. The dip on Steem is brutal. The initial excitement, oh my God, I'm going to post, I'm going to actually make something. And what's worse is if you actually do make something. Like, I saw one girl got like $1,000 for intro post, and then her next post's getting like $5, $10. Like, the relative comparison is just horribly disappointing. And then she stops posting for months. And I applaud you for your consistency of sticking with Steem when you got it just a few cents, and now you're essentially getting like $50 to sometimes even $100 a post. And that's awesome. That's something not most people are able to do. But when you see that other people are doing it and that's what works really well, then I think that's motivating to say, okay, I'm going to sign up and do what Main Event did. I'm just going to post and keep posting and just keep sharing and get connected in the community, and have faith that over time you will get rewarded for what you've contributed, even if it takes 6 months or a year or 2 years to fully realize it.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, that was just my experience. I am grateful for it. It may not go the same for everybody, but certainly you got to at least try, right? That's what I would say. And people should certainly look at a community like Steemit, not just for the rewards, but for that friendship and community aspect that is out there. I've made so many friends now through the Minnow Support Project and just all the other different groups that I'm in, that I know that if I go to Steamfest next year, I'm going to know a lot of people there, hopefully. So that's really amazing, and that goes far beyond, any rewards that I ever would get or have got. If Steam went to zero tomorrow, I mean, yes, I'd be a little sad and upset, but at the same time, I would look back and say, well, that was a pretty amazing experience, everything that I've done in these, 7 months or so that I've been on the platform. And so, yeah, I mean, it certainly goes far beyond just the rewards. So don't just look at it for the rewards. I mean, of course, it is a big aspect of it. But yeah, like you're saying, don't get discouraged if you're not getting a lot of post rewards. Kind of look at it in the aspect of evaluate the reasons maybe why you're not getting those rewards. Are you using the right tags on your post? What time of day are you posting? You kind of look at when your followers may be online and things like that. There's lots of things you can do to just look at your own blog and maybe evaluate why you may or may not be getting the views and the things on your content. Or ask people in these communities, say, hey, do you mind just taking a look at my blog? Give me any positive or constructive feedback that you could give me, and things like that. Snek, I know you've been on the platform longer than I have. You've been on, almost a year and a half now. Do you want to talk about your process or how you've, grown on Steemit, or what you thought of it when you first joined and things like that?
Yeah, sure. When I just joined, I was pulled in by the money, like many others, I think. And honestly, I got in at the right time because I was picked up by whales right away. And I made a good start, not on the first 10 or 20 posts, but after that, it started to roll, and I made posts about $500, $600. And that was amazing. And obviously, that made me kind of greedy because you want more and more money. And then I learned the lesson because something happened in my offline life, and I had to stop blogging, and I lost a lot of my followers. So my dip in Steemit was when I returned after my hiatus for 3 months, and I had to start all over. While my Steam power was high enough to not be a minnow anymore, I had to fight to get that same attention again as a minnow. And just getting back into it again. My posts are doing normally good, I think. I'm happy, and I realized that there is more to Steemit than just making the rewards on the post. So the connecting on Discord and making friends is what I value way more now than the payouts on my posts.
Yeah, and that's one thing we both agree on, that people should kind of evaluate Steemit that way. Don't only look at it for the rewards. I mean, yes, they are there, and they're a huge reason why you're going to want to join Steemit, but there's so much more to it, than when I'm on other social media. I haven't been able to make those same levels of connections with people like I have on Steemit. The people here just seem to be more friendly. Of course, you're always going to have trolls. You're always going to have people who are just there to cause an issue. That's just inevitable on any internet platform. But the overwhelming amount of people who are, helpful, friendly, they seem very genuine, that type of thing, is amazing on Steemit, and it's really been incredible to interact with all of them, to read their content, and to see them progress too. Because I've been on the platform now about 7 months, so it's always interesting to me when new members join the Minnow Support Project, to see them come in, to see them at their very beginning stages from their intro post, through their first couple of months. It's always amazing to watch them progress and to see them, go out into these communities and grow and become better minnows, as we call them. But yeah, that aspect is fascinating. So I know, Jerry, when you joined Steemit, of course, you had a lot of followers and things like that. So you brought quite a presence with you. But yeah, these new users, I think some of them do maybe get frustrated sometimes, but try to stick with it. If you're listening out there and you are a new member of the Steemit community, just keep blogging. Post original content. We definitely don't support plagiarism and things like that on the platform, and the community through curation does, check for that stuff. So, just post the things that you're passionate about is what we like to tell people. Try to just be genuine, be yourself, and the right people will find your content eventually, in my opinion. Of course, everything on here is always just our opinion, but, those are the things we would recommend to new users or to people who may be interested in Steemit that might be hearing this on your YouTube channel, Jerry.
Well, Jake and Bianca, I appreciate you both sharing your journeys, because Bianca, I just looked through all your posts, and yes, I love the rant you posted. Like, basically, this is stupid. Other people are getting a bunch of money for crap, and I'm getting nothing. And you made 20 or 30 posts without hardly getting like $1 or so on them. And then you had one that made 300, and then shortly after that, one that made 500. And you stuck with it after you felt like giving up. And
Yeah.
I just love seeing that. And I think it's easy to sell a lot of us on joining because of the money, because a lot of us are just attracted by money. I think there's an amazing chance on Steem for the transformation from self-interest to collective interest. I've been through a lot of that on Steem and realizing that if I want to make more money, I need to be of service to the community. Whereas a lot of the other things we do in business, we can just set up schemes. I've ran lots of good ones that, I'm going to set this up and essentially trick people into paying me money and make lots of it. But on Steem, we get in for our self-interest of I want to make some money. And at some point, there's this transformation of, if I contribute to the community, I will get what I need. And that to me that's the beauty of Steem, is that transformation from self-centered, I want to make money, to, group-centered, community-centered. Like, how do we make this a great place for others? Now, sure, there's lots of us on here who have not made that transformation, who just purely every viewpoint expressed is self-interest. Everything done is self-interest to maximize the individual's income. And it's nice to kind of just be loving and let that transformation happen too.
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead, Snek.
I just wanted to say it's the best transformation I made on a social platform. So I'm rather happy to have learned that lesson.
Yeah, I think each person's going to have a different story when it comes to Steemit. They're all going to join at a different point in their life with a different attitude. And it'll be interesting to see how they use the Steemit platform and how they grow and change because of it. Like you said, they may come in, all gung-ho, hey, I'm going to make money here, and it's all about me and that type of thing. And then as time progresses, they realize that really isn't the best approach. Going out into the community and curating and commenting and really trying to give people feedback on their content, I feel like will eventually come back to you. I mean, it comes back to that whole, treat others how you want to be treated type of thought process. I mean, if you want people to comment and vote on your posts, you kind of need to be out there doing the same thing, I feel like. So, kind of keep that in mind to the people out there who are joining Steemit. I mean, you have the right to do whatever you want with your blog and your Steam power. I mean, that's the other thing about Steemit. You don't have to do or not do anything. It's totally up to you, but it is a community aspect here, and people, may downvote you if they don't agree with what you're doing. They may upvote you if they agree with what you're doing, and you have the right to do the same thing. So just always kind of keep that in mind as well. But it seems, though, that joining these communities, getting out there and doing things for others, seems to get rewarded more on the platform, and that's, of course, just my opinion from my own observations. But yeah, like you're saying, that growth and change that happens after you join Steem is a good thing, in my opinion. It's positive for everybody.
Exactly. That's why I am so excited about Steem, is to essentially help all of us go through this change on Earth, from all of us that need it, from self-interest to, more human interest. Like my wife, as the whole time I've been with her, as she thinks about other people, she's not in like self-interest mode. But me, most of my life, I've been in self-interest mode. And my wife's helped me to come out of that some more. And Steam has been instrumental to helping me do that also, because a lot of us separate things in our head. Like, sure, for my marriage, I'll think about, and family, I'll think about my wife and kids. But when it comes to my business, it's all about me and my family, and it, doesn't matter about other people or their families. And Steam is really powerful to me in realizing, well, I'd like to have enough money to eat, but I'd like for everyone else to have enough money to eat as well. To me, Steam seems like an amazing system that really has the basic income potential built in, that each of us could simply just make some posts and in sharing our lives have the opportunity to earn a basic minimum income that would allow us to eat all over the world. So that's kind of my big vision for Steam.
Yeah, I mean, it'll hopefully continue on and continue to be a platform for people to use, for whatever they see fit that they want to use it for, whether they'll be for blogging, whether it's for, I see a lot of artists posting their artwork on there, writers doing poems, and just all kinds of different content out there. Really, the sky's the limit when it comes to the content. So, if you're a person out there who's already a content creator, it's probably worth looking into Steemit, in our humble opinion. It's a great community for people to at least network and chat with like-minded individuals, if anything. So, well, Jerry, we've been chatting here for a good hour now, so we might as well start to wind this down. Are there any parting words you want to just give to the Minnow Support audience who might be listening out there here on MSP Waves?
Thank you very much for being here with us today. We're honored to have a chance to appear in your world, wherever you're at, and we're excited to make this journey together with you on Steam.
And Poetic Snake, are there any parting words you want to give here at the end of the show?
I just want to say thank you to Jerry. It was really amazing to get to know you a little bit better during the interview. It was amazing.
Well, thank you, Bianca and Jake, for having me today. I hope this is helpful for everyone.
Absolutely. And again, this show airs on MSP Waves Radio, which is part of the Minnow Support Project. You can find the Minnow Support Project on Discord in the Peace, Abundance, Liberty server, and on Steemit at Minnow Support. Again, we've been visiting with Jerry Banfield today. Thank you so much, Jerry, for joining us on the show this week. All right, everybody. So that was my interview with Jerry Banfield alongside Poetic Snake, and I'm going to get her back on the line here in just 1 second. And I appreciate everybody tuning in tonight. The first hour we did visit with Papa Pepper. For the first hour, Papa Pepper joined us live on the show, which was amazing, and we chatted with him during the first hour, and then that second hour we had a visit with Jerry Banfield. That interview was recorded due to scheduling difficulties, but we appreciate both of them coming on the show tonight. And again, of course, MSP Waves Radio and its owners take no responsibility for the opinions or statements made by this show, or me, or my guests. Statements and show topics are not necessarily the beliefs of the radio station, and the material you hear on this show is for educational and informational purposes only. Again, this is all just for entertainment. It's all just our opinions. We are not financial experts. Do your own research and all of that good stuff. We're going to stick around for just 5 extra minutes here at the top of the hour, and Saipan Damashi is going to be starting his show next on MSP Waves. You can find a full listing of all the radio shows on mspwaves.com. Lots of radio shows by various members of the Steemit community, and there's shows on the air every day, so certainly head over again to mspwaves.com to find a full listing of all of the radio shows. And again, that is part of the Minnow Support Project. You can find more about that on Steemit at Minnow Support, and that is found in the Peace, Abundance, Liberty server on Discord. And again, you can find more about that at Minnow Support on Steemit. Snack, are you there?
I am here.
All right. What did you think of the show tonight?
I loved it.
It was great to have, two very well-known members of the Steemit community. And again, if you're listening to the show, and it doesn't matter what episode of the show it is, if somebody comes on this show that maybe you have disagreements with, that's okay. This show is open to everybody. We're not partial to any particular person or anything like that. We're welcoming anybody onto the show, and so it's great to have you here. If you're interested in being on the show, just send Poetic Snack or Main Event a message on Discord or steemit.chat, or you can find my post that I will put up later in the evening on my blog at Main Event, and you can leave a comment there as well if you're interested in being on the show. We love hearing all of the different members of the community's story, how they found the platform, what they're doing with Steemit and the Steem blockchain, and all of that type of stuff. And so it doesn't matter if you're a minnow, if you're a curator, a witness, you could be a community leader, doesn't matter. We'd be happy to speak with you here on the Main Event Interview Show, which again airs on MSP Waves, and that airs every Wednesday night from 10 to midnight UTC or 5 to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you are listening to the recording of this show on Steemit or on my profile or on YouTube, certainly catch us during the live show, because you can chat along with us on Discord in the MSP Waves audience room in the PAL network. And it's great to interact with you, and you can ask the guests on the show questions live. I know that interview with Jerry was recorded. That was the first recorded interview we'd had in quite some time, actually. So most of the guests are usually here live, so make sure you check with us every Wednesday. Again, 10 to midnight UTC time on mspwaves.com. Snack, any parting words you want to give for the audience here?
I want to say thank you to the guests we had, Papa Pepper, Jerry Banfield, and I want to thank everybody who joined us in the audience room and on the other channels. And I hope to see you all next week.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us, everybody. And again, this is the Main Event Interview Show, signing off.